Let's talk about how to actually import sample data now and where you can find it. So basically, if you use a premium theme, they pretty much all come with sample data, which is another big reason to actually pay for your theme. And since most themes are like $30 to $50, you really get a lot for your money, considering most web design from professional firms would be in the tens of thousands of dollars. Alright, so this is our default theme that we have now. It's, fully functional and all that stuff, but there's just not that much going on because we haven't done anything with it yet. We only have the one default post right here, and that's about it. So let's say we want to find our XML file, which is our sample data. We bought this from ThemeForest, so we'll just go over to Downloads, and then we're using this theme right here. We'll go to Download, All Files and Documentation. As you can see on the bottom left, it's downloading. Alright, so that's all done. We'll go over here on the desktop, unzip that, and it's in this file. And typically look for something that's called like XML data or sample data or some kind of folder like that. So we'll click on that, and as you can see right here, this is the meat and potatoes of what we're looking for, the hottopics.xml. Alright, so we're going to keep that. I've already downloaded it to the desktop. And now we're going to go back to our theme. And this is the back end. This is just this theme, remember. So we're using this theme right here called Hot Topics. So now we're just going to Tools, Import, and we'll go to WordPress because we're obviously using WordPress. It'll walk you through this. You can just say Install Now. You can just hit Activate and Run Importer. There we go. So now we're going to choose that XML file that we have. I put it on my desktop just so I knew where it was, but you can choose to keep it wherever you'd like. We'll just hit Open, Upload File, and Import. And so now it's going to walk you through basically one step. So there's a couple sample users. If you don't want to use them, you can assign posts to an author account that you already have on WordPress. And it also asks if you want to download and import file attachments. I would say yes, especially for a new theme. So we'll just hit Submit, and that will start the process. Sometimes it might take longer than others, but in general you should be all set. So remember, we had one post before. Now we have 57 posts, 10 pages, some categories, and a bunch of tags, even some sample comments thrown in there for good measure. So let's see what it looks like now. It may not be perfect considering we have just imported random stuff, but in general it's lots of posts now, which is great, and you can just start going around and tweaking things like adding menu locations. So we're going to manage menus, we'll go to main and secondary and footer, and that usually changes the site around and makes it look a little bit nicer too. Alright, and so we're going to continue to tweak it, but that's how you import sample data. So now we have stuff like Justin Timberlake's article, but as you can see it's actually just filled with Latin text. So that's what you get with sample data. Sometimes it brings in all the pictures, sometimes it doesn't. So as you can see, there's no media attachments here, but sometimes it will bring it in, all that kind of good stuff. So I hope that made sense, and basically you can always go to Tools, Import, Export. So import is to bring in stuff, export is if you already have a current site that is ready to rock on a different server. You can just go here and download export file, and you just click on that, it'll download it, and it'll give you your very own XML file right over here. You can call it whatever you want to. It's as easy as that. One quick tip is when you're exporting onto another site, make sure this original site that the export file is pulling from is still online, and then it can pull all the media off of it. Otherwise it might do something like it did for this one and not pull in the actual picture files, because basically the XML file stores all the text and tags and all that kind of meta stuff, but it doesn't store the actual images in the XML file. It relies on the remote web server to do that. Alright, I hope that made sense, and I'll see you on the next lesson.